everybody, welcome back to episode 3, 123 of Talky Bois. In this episode, we have a wonderful guest, which we'll reveal to you very shortly. Hence the lack of little barrier between Mike. I can now slap him in the forehead.
Oh.
He can't do anything about it.
Hey, look, you heard of Hamish and Andy? You heard of Will Anderson? You heard of Lewis Spears and Luke Kidgwell? Well, this guy's bloody worked with all of them.
All
the
of
man's
them.
a talent.
And he may have had something to do with our little trip to visit Hamish and Andy last year. So,
shock horror.
without further ado, let's jump straight into it.
My name is Radio Mike. Welcome to the inside of my mind.
Hey, Mr. Radio Mike, welcome.
Hello.
To the Talky Boys studio.
It's the Talky Boys. They talk, they're boys. The Talky Boys. What an apt name.
Self-explanatory title.
It is.
We have with us the illustrious third boy, I guess you could call him. He's the 20th century boy.
He
good.
is.
Yes. Do we have a podcast?
We do want to talk about your podcast, but...
My podcast, 20th Century Boy, which is available now on iTunes, Spotify, YouTube, and all other podcasting
Yes,
platforms.
that podcast.
Cool. Yeah, I just thought it could have been another one, but I only do one. But
Can I get on the podcast app? Can I get it there?
you can get it anywhere you podcast. Name a place you can podcast.
Deezer.
We're on it. Actually, I don't know if what is Deezer? I've not heard of
I
it.
think it's just a music platform.
Okay, we're not on Deezer. We take it back. We're not on every platform, but we're on most.
Now, we
Yes.
have an extensive history together because
Yes.
you were the reason that we went to Sydney to meet Hamish and Andy.
It's sort of like on Australian Idol when you do your audition and then Dick goes like, "You're going to Sydney." It's sort of like
That was the call. We had this little emailing friendship back and forth.
To kind of lay it out flat for you guys. So Mike semi-recently had the opportunity to go and interview Hamish and Andy up in Sydney.
Which
Coming in a
bloody
year.
Mike? There's
Which bloody-
Yeah.
so bloody many. Basically, Radio Mike here was working with Hamish and Andy and was the kind of collaborator and the kind of the middleman in that kind of relationship.
What was your title?
Oh, I don't know. I think I was the producer of that thing, which was the People's Press Junkie.
Yeah, Press Junkie.
To
yes.
promote True. It was a video to promote True Story Season 2 with Hamish and Andy.
Yeah.
And I was the producer of that.
I think the professional term is producer boy, if
Yeah.
I'm correct.
Yes.
Yeah, producer boy.
So
Excuse me,
Mike.
I haven't gone to uni for it yet.
Yeah. You needed a 3-year media degree to know anything about this, so you stay out of it.
Shut down.
So I just go.
So Mike, Radio Mike, was
Yes.
the middleman for normal Mike, if you can
Yeah.
call him that, and ended
Regular
up
shit, Mike.
and actually selected Michael to go and interview Hamish and Andy. So you're the reason we went on our little road trip.
Chats over chess, I
Yes,
believe.
yes.
So I had to filter through, let's say, billions of emails because there were so many, and just choose the best. I think we went with like 30 or 35 people or like groups to
Yeah,
go
something
through.
like that was crazy.
Yeah, and it was a really good day, which was good because if it went badly, this
That's
guy's
on you.
like, yeah. So it went really well. I think you can attest to that.
Yeah.
Like, yeah.
Apart from spilling the chessboard,
Yeah.
that.
Play the replay. Alright, we've got 4 minutes, let's make it happen.
Okay, queen on her colour. Queen on her colour.
Alright, so here's the deal.
What will we go for? A stupid quick chess game?
Yeah, well, we're supposed to be. Dox this little guy.
Oh, that was awesome!
Wow, good
I
one,
remember
Mike.
it.
I
So
can't believe
clearly.
we did that.
Way to impress your idols.
I did
Beautiful.
meet you both there. That was probably over a year ago now.
In Sydney.
Would have been
Sydney.
would have been I think August, was it?
I think it was start of August.
Start of August, so yeah, nearly a year ago. Man, time flies.
I could find out for a fact, like it's in my calendar, but I don't think we... Does anyone care?
No,
cool.
no one
Alright,
cares.
cool.
Yes.
Does your editor, is he here? Does he know?
My editor,
Yeah.
Mike, yeah. Can you just edit them? I have a few people that work on my podcast that you guys know, your listeners might. But yeah, editor Mike, can you just make sure that's there? Yeah, no worries, Mike.
Oh,
Thanks,
see,
man.
oh, no worries.
Sorry,
I love how
I
you...
got an itchy shoulder. Which is weird.
Beautiful. We've got a whole bunch of questions here. This is also the first time
Right.
I'm not holding a microphone during
Yeah.
a podcast.
Do you want me-
so
do you want
Hey, g'day guys. I'm Radio Michael. I'm sitting inside of my mind.
He's done it better than I could ever do it. Why am I doing my podcast?
Beautiful. So I'm going to be fidgeting because my ADHD is going to kick in, no doubt.
I think you mentioned that every single episode.
Yeah, definitely. I've got to slip it in. Love me some learning disorders.
Jeez, the sob story's coming.
Sob story. Do you want to start us off though? What do you reckon?
I'll start us off.
Yeah,
So
right.
when did you guys decide you wanted to do Talky Bois?
Oh well, thanks, Radio Mike.
I feel like I'm the interviewer, and this is
that
like a
happened with
press
Kate and
junket.
McDonald as well. I kind of you talk to me about how I fell out of love with football, and it just became all about me for a second. I'm not complaining.
No, but we do want to know. Tell us about the 20th Century Boy.
Okay, so I do a podcast. It's called 20th Century Boy, and as previously established, it's available on all platforms.
Spotify,
other than Deezer.
iTunes, SoundCloud.
Yeah, no,
Okay.
it's not on
Not on
SoundCloud. We
SoundCloud.
found two. It's a podcast where me and like all the people that work for me and some fans sit in from time to time, and I'm sure we'll meet a few other funny characters along the way.
Zany boys.
But I just talk about my life and, well, actually, no, that sounds shit. I don't talk about that. I don't talk about that, guys. I talk about like pop culture that I like, including video games, music, movies, TV shows, and art, because I am an artiste, and artists talk about art. And it's sort of also an examination of mental health and being a 20th century boy in the modern world.
Yeah.
A lot of people say, but it's the 21st century, Mike. But it's actually a reference to the fact that me, alongside, I assume you two, were born in the 90s. Which is the 20th century.
Beautiful.
That's why it's called that.
What's it like? Like I guess most of the time, obviously you've got the people that work with you, but running a podcast mainly by yourself.
Yeah.
What's that like? Because we're two kind of
Couple of
talky
boys, but you're a singular boy.
Yeah.
I'm a singular boy. Yeah. And a great question, man. And I thought you'd ask that, so I'll answer it now.
Or not. Or not. You can answer in 5 minutes out of context.
Actually, we'll go to a break and I'll answer it after that.
Message from the sponsors.
I have a lot of audio grabs. I grew up listening to a lot of like Hamish and Andy, like everyone. Like no one's like, oh, that's so weird. No one listened to them. Like, you know, I kind of am inspired by them. They used to use a lot of grabs and flashbacks and packages and sketches and
Because it is very flashy, very sound effecty, very
and that's all just from sort of growing up listening to their show, which I used to do community radio a long time ago, and I was trying to do that there as well. I'm just doing what I used to do since I was a kid now. Some people are listening, which is pretty weird, but yeah. But yeah, it's just, you know, I sit down, I think about, I do a few dot points, and then I press play on the microphone,
and then just riff.
Yeah, just riff.
Fantastic.
Sort of like this. This is pretty much what I do,
Yeah,
except without you guys.
So I mean, if you're hiring, you're looking for people.
You guys are making it way easier.
You can rename me Mike. You can call me, go grab that coffee boy, Mike.
ADHD Mike.
ADHD Mike. What was that? Distracted by that shiny thing outside. So there's a special someone on your podcast called Siggy Mike. He's
Siggy Mike. Yeah,
Siggy Mike. He's one of my favorite characters. I'm a little bit concerned.
Well, he's not a character. But go on.
Well, you know what I mean.
He's a fan of the show.
Someone call him a bit of a zany character.
Yeah,
you know what I
that
mean?
kind of character.
Yes.
He's not a fictional character.
No, of
he's
course.
a real life character.
Very real, flesh and blood.
Yeah.
But I'm a bit concerned because in your last podcast you've released quite recently,
Yes.
he starts going on about all kinds of things. There's a bit of this, bit of that. Starting talking about nangs. Isn't he nearly 30?
He's 29.
He's 29. Yeah.
He asked us all on the most recent episode if after the show we would like to do nangs with him outside. If you don't know what a nang is, I don't really get nangs. I think nangs are like those little metal whippet things.
Yeah.
that
Eat the whole whippet. How do you get the substance out of it?
But people go to like extreme lengths for nangs, right?
Yeah.
Like, they literally buy top of the line. Can I swear on this?
Yeah,
we'll
I'll
bleep.
bleep it out.
Beep. Okay, cool. They buy like these air dispensers, and you get the air out of the whippet, and then you put it into a balloon, and then people like inhale the balloon. And it gives you this It gives you like a 2-second buzz.
There goes the explicit little thing.
Sorry. Okay, we should
Don't do drugs.
Don't do nags. Was the message of the podcast, but yeah, like. Nangs are stupid, and Siggy Mike just tried to ask me and my editor Mike, if we wanted to do nangs after the show, and we were both like, "What the hell? No!"
Oh my God.
And then I ask, editor Mike is my editor. He's really bad at editing. I tell him to edit all this stuff out. He leaves it in the final cut. It's crazy. I'm not responsible for the final cut. I might fire him soon because he's just not doing a good job.
No, editor Mike.
Yeah, but
Oh dear.
know.
So how did you meet Siggy Mike? How did that come about?
so Siggy Mike listened to like the first 4 or 5 episodes of the show and
Yeah.
he just really liked it, which is surprising. He just loved it, you know? And he just emailed editor Mike and he said, hey, I'm a big fan of the show and I'd love to come in. Can I sit in? And then he sat in and then he just kept coming back every now and then. So yeah,
okay.
we have him on from time to time.
beautiful.
He just sort of sits there. I ask him to sit in silence, but he doesn't really do that. He always interjects and it never comes out of the final cut. So yeah.
Oh, lovely.
Do you reckon you'll get a full dedicated episode of Siggy Mike, like Welcome to the Mind of Siggy
Of
Mike?
Siggy.
Yeah, so I've been planning... actually, all of the people that work on the show will eventually get their own episode.
Whoa, that's crazy.
Yeah,
If editor Mike doesn't get fired first.
yeah, I mean, I was being a bit hard on him. You're not going to get fired.
Sorry, editor
Just-
Mike.
Yeah, just lift your game a bit, man. Get those little nicks out. You know, there's not even supposed to be swearing on the podcast. He's supposed to bleep it too, but he never does. But,
Wow.
Yeah, it's
Okay.
crazy.
Yeah. See, that's why you don't take me for granted, because I'm a good editor.
Yeah.
Well, speaking of me and you, and that's a terrible segue, but Aaron wanted to compare your mics
Yes.
to his
To my
mic.
mic. Now, this is my mic.
Right, yeah.
Now, you have a lot of mics.
Yeah,
More
we're-
mics than me. I'm a little bit jealous. You've been collecting a lot of mics.
Yeah, it's crazy. We're all called Mike. Editor Mike. I had
Yeah.
a guy called Intern Mike. I've had Siggy
Intern Mike.
Mike.
Yeah,
Reporter
I've
Mike.
heard a bit about Intern
Yeah.
Mike. Yeah.
He's a little shit.
So's mine.
There you go.
I feel like it's kind of runs in the radio family, I guess, to just be called Mike and all that kind of stuff. But
Yeah.
where are you going with this?
Well, you wrote the question.
I
but-
completely forgotten.
Have you guys, can I just ask? You had
Yeah.
a question sheet before and you've thrown it away. It's
Yeah.
almost like, wow, this interview's going so well. We don't need the questions. Let's just ride with it.
Well, I read the last one. I read it and it says, and I'll read it. I'll read it word for word. Comparing Aaron's mic to Radio Mike's mic.
Compare the pair.
So
That's
I
right.
just wanted to let you have your
Okay,
moment.
Thank you. And then I messed it up because of my idiot.
So wait, you're saying the question sheet was thrown away because we're out of questions? Right. Okay. Now, like,
Professional
it
podcast
wasn't
you're on
because
top
the interview's going so well.
No.
Damn
Well,
it.
maybe. Hey.
Oh no, he's exposed us.
So it's when you get a professional
Cracks. The cracks are appearing.
If you'd like to take my mic and add him to your repertoire, I'm sure the Talky Bois,
Mike.
singular, could become the new show.
Alternatively,
Yeah.
do you want to be a mic? I feel like that's where it's gearing up to
Yeah.
be.
Oh, you're really looking straight through me, aren't you? What kind of mic would I be, do you reckon? Would I be-
You're a pretty cool guy.
Oh,
You could
yeah.
be Cool Mike.
Cool Mike, yeah, I'll take that. And for the entirety of this interview, I will now be called Cool Mike. And
Can we
Mike.
re-edit that? There's so many other describing words we
Go
can
hit me,
use.
yeah.
Incompetent mic.
Stupid idiot Mike. I don't know you that well.
Weepy mic.
No one really hurt, guys. Anyway, I'm back.
Now, are you good?
I'm fine.
Good to continue, okay.
Completely fine. Cool Mike, please. Call me Cool Mike.
Okay, cool mic. I'll let you have this one.
Thank you.
Now, radio mic.
Yes. Sorry, I didn't know we had started. I was still eating some shakes. It's all good. I've swallowed most of it. I'm just getting some out of my teeth.
I'll leave for 2 seconds and you just dig straight into the food.
I've still got some of my teeth. We need to get to the hard hitters here.
Yes.
Yeah. I knew this was coming.
Play the serious music, please.
We have a theory between us that all the people that are in your team are actually just figments of your imagination. It's just you putting on voices. Confirm or deny?
Well, here's what I'll say, guys.
Who is it?
It's the YEFWC.
Who?
We're the Year-Eyed Fair Work Commission.
We're here on an unfair dismissal claim on an unnamed individual.
We'll play our chat with them so you're up to speed.
So,
Yeah.
you are unfairly dismissed from the 20th Century Boy podcast.
Yeah, I did. I was the intern there, and I was the intern on Mike's podcast, 20 Boy, and I got a 10-week internship, and then the 10-week internship finished, and now I'm not on it anymore. So, I guess it's kind of fair, but at the same time, it's a pretty unfair dismissal claim.
How did Radio Mike treat you on this podcast of his?
To be honest, he actually didn't like. Is this confidential?
Yeah, mate, sure. What do you want?
So, yeah, he wasn't that nice. Sometimes he was nice on air, pretending that he was nice, but off air, he was really mean. And my grandpa works on the show as well, and he was, always mean to me, which, made no sense, because he's supposed to love me. Now I don't know if he loves me, but that's okay, because I love me. So, he promised to get me a shiny Charizard Pokemon card as, as a prize for, being on the show, and he didn't get it for me, which is pretty fucked.
Are you telling us that Radio Mike did not give you any sort of compensation for your work? No Boost Juice certificate, no Build a Bear coupon, nothing like that?
He got me, he got me a car, but I don't have my license, and also a copy of Mark Latham's biography, but I can't read very well, so it's, that's pretty useless for me, you know? I need, money or something. I guess I could sell the car, but I can't use eBay or anything, so I just wouldn't. Where's this gonna go? My mum, I'm not allowed to talk to people like this.
Sorry, no further questions.
But is this going on the internet?
No further questions.
Dear God.
No, it's not true. It's not true at all. Because Intern Mike was just on an internship. He was never actually employed by me, I swear.
Tell it to the judge, mate, eh? Cuff him, Arnold.
On it, Mark.
No!
A 2. You know what to do. Ooh. What dotheth this wayeth cometh againeth Aaron.
This wayeth cometh.
A lisp.
A lisp. And also another segment of Story Bois. Ooh.
I don't know who I was going for. I was saying you.
In this episode, we're reading Chapter 1, which is called The Innkeeper. This is the segment that no one asked for, but it's not going away.
We love it. Hey, we actually genuinely enjoy writing this, and we're going to keep doing it, whether you don't listen or not.
Ooh.
Way to keep an audience. We really appreciate you all.
Let's jump straight into it. Chapter 1, The Innkeeper.
Hey, boys.
Grunted the portly fellow. In a self-inflicted stupor, stumbled into the light of a lantern, hung precariously above a sign that read, Rodney's Motel.
Yous twos look familiars, alright?
The man gurgled. Gurgled.
Yeah.
We are merely two men looking at a place to rest our weary heads. We have journeyed across harsh and barren lands, where only the bravest of Titans dare tread. We have encountered the fiercest of foes, and now we request a bed to rest.
Arbus explained to the simpleton. With a series of grunts and gestures, the two other travellers followed the motel owner. What is that?
It's just a series of months and gestures. Grunts and gestures.
Sorry, I shouldn't have questioned your motives.
Yeah, how dare you shit all over my voice acting.
With a series of grunts and gestures, the two weathered travellers followed the motel owner into his establishment. Despite the assortment of mud, mould, and bodily fluids, the innkeeper requested the two men remove their boots.
Much to their dismay, they agreed and placed their foot garments carefully on the wooden foothold.
Wait there by the front desk,
said the innkeeper.
I got check availabilities.
I'm loving that. I'm loving that deep accent, Michael. It
Thank you.
comes so naturally. Begrudgingly, the boys complied. In the minutes it had taken to get inside, Mac's condition had deteriorated exponentially.
Arby's brows rose, condensing his abnormally lengthy forehead as he realised he'd run out of time.
A flame flickered behind his eyes. He scanned the room for help, and his gaze fell upon a scrawny young boy, very reminiscent of Arbus as a lad. Little man.
That's the voice you're going with?
Yeah, maybe. I guess I've got to stick with it now. Little man. Come
Nah, stick with it. You're locking it in now.
Come to my aid. I can't do that. You're doing that. Little man, come to my aid promptly.
Commanded Arb, the bespectacled young lad galloped over. At this point, Mac was sprawled out over the hygienically questionable carpet. Arby kneeled by his side.
He swiftly drew a handkerchief from his lower coat pocket, and as a means of removing the cold sweat dripping from Mac's ever-growing hooked nose.
Every time I read that, it hurts me.
I just thought I'd have a little bit of a jab at that ego of yours, Mac.
And my nose. that's totally
Arby
fine.
bent down and spoke to the young boy, and in soft tones gave a very clear list of items that would be needed to save Mac. I need 4 cloves of garlic, a pinch of lavender salt, the extract of olive, 3 overripe tomatoes, water to the boil, and a container filled with barilla ragatini.
I think that's an A there for rigatoni.
I'm sticking with it. Be quick, boy. You haven't much time.
The boy knew what needed to be done, and in a nervous
And in a nervous flurry,
Oh, wow. You're really picking on me, my nose, and my stutter. Wow. And in a nervous flurry, he was out
the door. The innkeeper lumbered into the room, the smell of liquor slightly stronger on his breath. He shook his head.
Unfortunately, 3 men come in 15 minutes ago. They took the last room and kept talking plenty about some ancient deity. Well, that's what you get when you listen to your father-in-law, you bloody dog. You know, you boys, you keep coming into my space. And I just thought Aaron was going to cut me off because it
That's your
says
line.
he's supposed to... Oh. Please.
Mac let out a cry.
I haven't much left in me, brother.
It'll be okay, Mac. We've seen worse days.
Arby spoke as he touched Mac's shoulder, but in his heart, he knew it not to be true.
The motel owner sighed and scratched himself. He knew the paperwork he'd have to go through if a potential customer died in his foyer.
All right. We might have some space, but I hope you boys don't mind roughing it.
Both boys looked weary, but what other choice did they have?
The man led them around a slippery hallway. As they turned a corner, the bright star in the sky once again illuminated their surroundings.
Illuminate.
Outside. But not for long, Mac thought, as Arbus pointed to the crest of the steep path which the innkeeper ascended. For at the top of the hill
stood a stable. That was when Mac truly felt it. A sharp pain localized in his abdomen. This time, it wasn't his potential IBS. But what it did do was reveal the agony behind his stern and handsome gaze. Handsome? And questionably handsome gaze.
That's not written in there. It says...
questionably
It
handsome.
just says handsome. He wasn't just hurting. He was dying.
Ooh. That was the second segment of Story Boys. I hope
That was so long.
It was so long. I hope you guys are enjoying it so far. This is the lore of Talky Boys. Maybe Horace, maybe Steve Buscemi. Who knows who's going to show up? Who bloody knows?
Hey, if you want your own character in Story Boys, write us in with your character, their backstory, and their name, and we'll write them into the story.
That we will, Mac. And without further ado, let's get right into ending this episode.
Hey, we've got Instagram, we've got Facebook, we've got YouTube, we've got an email address that we never check. So don't write there, but go to @TalkyBoys at Instagram, @TalkyBoys at Facebook.
Facebook. We'll plop it right here. Look how beautifully I've edited it in.
Aaron's number's
Wow.
0407.
Okay. We'll see you guys in episode 4. Ta-ta.
Hey, that's for you, especially you. Love you, Mum. Bye.